All right, welcome everyone to this week's community call. This week, I'll be taking care of the community call this week as Vari will be out for today. So unluckily for you, you have to work through me today. This week, we have 3 UMIPs under consideration, 2 of which are not in a position to move forward as there have been no comments left on them since the last round of reviews. But this week, we still are talking about the USPAC 5 implementation. I'm going to share my video, share my screen in a second. Actually, I need to update my share settings. 1 second. I might have to just drop off the call and join in a sec. All right, give me 1 second. Cool, I'm back. All right, so the SPAC 5 UMIP has been worked on for a couple of weeks now. Rainus, I believe you and Sean had a side discussion on some feedback around this.
Yes, absolutely. So since last week, there has been some of updates and a couple of commits on this pull request, but still, as just looking at the comment, there are a couple of major things that needs to be addressed. So first one is the granularity of price feed. So for any product that's considered to be tradable, the daily granularity is not sufficient, especially if it's SPACs, because they're quite volatile compared to other like financial, not normal like stock market instruments. So for this reason, there might be quite an important shift in pricing that's not addressed, and some positions could get like liquidation risk due to this. Then the other part related also to the risks is the number of components in this index that also as part of like reducing expected volatility. Currently it's only 5 items, so bumping up that at least to some extent could mitigate those volatility risks. And one more thing that there is opened pull request for price feed implementation, but that still has not been like reviewed by engineering team. So that's one thing that needs to be like solved before this pull request can be like moved forward. Because for any, it might not be issue for other products, but here if it's traded products, there should be definitely bot infrastructure behind that.
I think for the price feed implementation, we can nudge that in ourselves internally. It's probably something we should take care of. So I don't specifically think that the price feed implementation, we can get the engineering team to kind of review it within the cycle. But more specifically, I think the comments that you were mentioning around intraday versus interday data availability and the actual makeup of the number of assets in the basket are concerns. My question around that is whether those are sufficient enough to push this by 1 extra week, or can we consider those like contingencies?
I would think that's more of like a requirement for pushing because I think it's quite significant, and also after addressing these issues, there might be some additional, like minor, like formatting questions or follow-up questions.
Okay. Okay. And then my other question would be around, do you think that these changes would have a material difference on the price feed implementation?
Price feed implementation, it might just require maybe some additional clarification, but I don't think, not fundamentally.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that is that if we're having interday versus intraday, the timing of data availability might be, the price feed structure might change, and the same thing around the makeup of the actual assets in the basket. Because I mean, I'm not exactly sure how it would work, but I would presume that those changes actually change how the price feed will be created.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Yeah, because it different like providers have different schemes, so how they format the API endpoints. Absolutely,
Okay.
you're right on that.
And then, okay, so then my thinking here is that we push this based on those two specific areas, or at least have the team give us some feedback around that. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. So we'll consider pull 428 pushed, meaning that there are actually no UMIP votes for this week. Cool. Right.
All right.
Any comments from your side outside of just this UMIP?
No, not particular at this moment.
Cool. Awesome. So then that's a wrap for this week. I'll see you next week.
All right. See you. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Just before you go, one question I actually had for you, if you have a sec, is with Sean going out this week, he's been across quite a few of like the BD partnerships.
So sorry, you intend to stop recording or?
Oh, wait.